Hi everyone, Dr. Maureen here from Restorative Health Center, coming to you every day, trying to help you little bit by little bit, hoping to make your day a little bit brighter and give you tools to help your health and your family through all of this coronavirus stuff. But I'm going to plan on doing this all the time anyway, just ongoing to give you little tips to help your health. So today I want to talk to you about the importance of our gut for both our immune system and just our general health. A gut holds a lot of our immune system, and it affects and modulates and communicates with our immune system. So very important part to keep us healthy. So including stomach, small intestine, large intestine, how we digest our food, how we absorb our food. And if we're lucky, we have lots of good creatures in that gut. We're going to be talking about the immune part of the gut. Later on, we're going to be talking about if we're having symptoms like gas and bloating and heartburn and all of that, what that can mean, and some helpful things that we can do at home to help, and when signs that maybe we need a little bit more help with that. But today I want to just talk to you about how we can support our gut and the way it can support our immune system. So all those little bacteria and creatures in our gut, we want to support them, the good ones. We want to keep the bad stuff at bay. Our intestinal lining has a border that communicates with both our immune system and also helping keep some bad stuff out, when we're getting exposed to viruses and other creatures. So we want to keep the stomach lining healthy and keep a good mixture of good bacteria that helps our immune system. So we want to do things like bone broth, which we already shared that recipe with you. So bone broth has a lot of collagen in it, which is very healing to the lining. We need collagen for healing a lot of structures in our body, but especially the intestinal wall. So that's really good for that. Plus it has a lot of minerals and other nutrients in it that are supportive of our immune system and our gut as well. So having a cup of bone broth, whether it's in the form of soup or you're putting that in a stew, or you're just having a cup of bone broth. Sometimes for my breakfast, I'll just warm up a cup of bone broth and I'll scramble in a couple eggs while it's warming up and put a little seasoning in and have kind of like a little egg drop soup for breakfast. And it's really yummy, actually. And it's a good way for me to get my bone broth in and have my eggs for breakfast as well. But in a previous post, we've already posted our bone broth recipes and then a chicken broth recipe as well. So look that up. Other foods that are really great for your gut are the cabbage family. So cabbage has an amino acid. It's really rich in an amino acid called glutamine. So glutamine is a amino acid that forms a lot of the lining of our stomach. So if you've ever heard of leaky gut, those are little micro holes in our gut that can let bad things out into our body and bad things into our gut. So we want to help heal and seal that gut, and cabbage is really good for that. The other thing really good for it is fermented foods. That's another way of getting those good healthy creatures in there to protect it. So I love sauerkraut, really good quality refrigerated fermented sauerkraut. So you're getting the glutamine from the cabbage, but you're also getting the creatures from the fermented foods. Kimchi is a spicy form of cabbage that has ginger, which is great for the gut as well and soothing, and some spicy peppers in it as well if you like that too. So that's another way of getting some of that benefit in there. Keeping sugar, which we've been talking about, keeping starches and things that will feed things like yeast overgrowth and bad bacteria, keeping that really low in our diet right now is very, very important. Sugar, starches, harder to digest. I am gluten-free. I can't eat wheat. I have celiac, so don't be flirting with that if you have any problems with that right now. But I don't necessarily believe everybody needs to be gluten-free, but it is a little harder to digest. So we want to kind of keep that low and really make sure we're having bowel movements every day and encouraging fiber-rich foods, like just a lot of vegetables, a lot of green leafy vegetables. And if we are going to have any grains, make sure they're like whole grain brown rice, maybe a little bit of quinoa if that is okay with you. But think about those foods as well to keep bowel movements going as well. Beets are another great food for your digestive tract. It helps, it's a lot of fiber, it helps with regular bowel movements, and it also feeds a little thing called our liver, where we make bile. Bile is something that helps us digest our fats. Bile, so if you're getting gassy, that could be one thing that we need to support. If you've had your gallbladder out, that's another important thing to support the liver function. But bile, maybe TMI, but it's our poop thinner, right? And we want to support that, and that helps us get better bowel movements too. If you are having any bigger issues like heartburn and digestion, and you need more help, you're free to reach out to us. And by the way, remember, we are still here if you need anything at all. We're answering the phones, we're seeing patients. But those are some tips for your gut, and if you're needing more information, feel free to reach out to us. We are going to be attaching a recipe to help support your gut. And Sarah, remind me what we're going to attach today.
Green bean, chicken.
Green bean and chicken stir fry. It's really, really yummy. It's really rich in fiber. We're trying to think of really great recipes to have something fun for you every day. I know some of us are home and want to cook, but we want to keep the sugar low. You can serve that over cauliflower rice or a little whole grain brown rice. I like to eat it without it, but it's the recipe that we're sending you is keto and Whole30 friendly, so it doesn't have a lot of added sugar that sometimes you can get with Chinese takeout and stuff like that. So you just have to watch that. But take care. I hope you enjoy all these recipes we're sending you. If you need anything at all, please reach out to us. Take care.